Hello there, my name's Chris Dangerfield and welcome back to my channel, you children of a blind date where she was wearing perfume made of the pure urine of a diet comprising of nothing but asparagus, and he was wearing aftershave made of the pure urine of a diet comprised of nothing but sugar puffs. And while I'm on compliments, thank you to all my new patrons. Every day this is happening now. More and more people are realising a quick dollar here, a quick dollar there, and you're getting more videos. It's amazing. If it carries on like this, I'll be able to do this full time by about 2080. And you can also now donate via Bitcoin. Oh yeah, cutting edge. Am I perhaps the first person to be accepting Bitcoins as donations? Don't know, probably not, but I'm gonna go with it until someone proves otherwise, as I'm sure you will. There will be grasses in the compliments. I'll tell you what, I've done it though. Lauren Southern, probably know Lauren Southern, Patreon closed her account. Yeah, oh yeah, they just went, no, fuck you, that's hate speech, or something like that, usual capers. Incredible though, after the recent advopocalypse, monetization crisis, when the likes of Coca-Cola and that went, no, we don't want our adverts on videos where people are talking about Pepe. And loads of channels thought, shit, people do this full time, it's their living, it's their job, and they thought, I'm not going to be able to carry on. So they asked their subscribers whether they could up the Patreon a bit, and loads of channels I like anyway, survived on the back of Patreon. After I saw that Lauren Southern's Patreon got closed down, I mean, I'm not really that political, but it's a bit of a concern when you're at my stage, building up your channel, early days, excited about what might happen, and then one day it might just be nah. So I thought, I know, I'll go Bitcoin. No central authority. No one in the middle to go, you're a white supremacist. All that bullshit. Oh yeah, it's just you to me. Bitcoin's brilliant like that. If you know about Bitcoin, you'll know that anyway. My wallet address is in the description. You put it in your wallet, you press a button, bang, the $1 million comes over straight to me. Incredible. Anyway, enough about that. I was listening to the wonderful Camille Paglia the other day, and someone asked her about what she thought about Jordan Peterson's recent spiel, all the gender identity stuff and all that, and she was saying that this isn't new at all. All this fascination and sort of explosion of transgenderism has got a historical precedent, if not many. And she goes on to speak about the end of empires are defined by a decadence in culture. And interestingly, celebrity chefs, amazingly, yeah, really, have a look. One of the characteristics of the decadent phase at the end of an empire. It's that phase where they've accumulated everything, they've achieved so much. There's a surplus of leisure, there's a surplus of pleasure, craft, real value, significance, meaning, or passion. All the real things that make life worth living have slowly been sold, figuratively and literally. And so we just end up indulging in stupidity. And I saw this video earlier and I thought, if that doesn't explain that, if that doesn't demonstrate it in a very powerful way, I don't know what does. So I want you to have a look at this and get a puke bowl ready. Not because there's anything visually unpleasant in it, but this is cultural decadence. There's a book called Distinction by, I think his name's Perdue or something, French writer. It's called Distinction, a cultural something about taste. It's very early in the morning, not very good with the details at the moment, but he says poor people aren't envious of rich people or pissed off with rich people because of the amount of money they've got. It generally is because of what they do with that money, and this is in this as well. So just watch this and see if you can get an understanding of that decadent phase of a culture that's just sitting amongst an orgy of possibilities and just picking its arse. Shit. I pressed stop recording. There might be a dodgy little edit there. Anyway, I meant to press play on this. Go.
We really have a strive for perfection, always wanting to improve to such an extent that it almost becomes perverted. How far?
You heard him. A striving for perfection, and there was like a spiky spoon, and then it almost becomes perverted. Yeah, why? Why? Because you've lost an investment in function.
Can you go? Steinbeißer means biting on rock. It's in a way a metaphor that expresses the struggle that our audience has when they come to the dinner.
Did you see that? I can't rewind it. Like I say, it's not a YouTube video. Did you see that sociopath? This is clearly some spoiled, rich little bastard kid who can do nothing. He's got nothing else. He's done the helicopter rides. He's got the acres of land with fucking giraffes running around on it. He's fucked 1 million high-class prostitutes. He's done it all. All he can do now, and he said it himself, he can make eating a struggle. Oh, come to my party, have a struggle.
Since 2012 we started the experimental gastronomy project.
There you go. Experimental gastronomy. Why? I bet that's his house as well, and he just walks around it slowly going mad. It's got a bit of The Shining about it, this, hasn't it? I'll have a drink of water while you admire him. Look at his low-hanging bollock.
Where we wanted to bring chefs in contact with artists in order to get them out of their comfort zone.
There's this thing about art and all that. We wanted to get chefs in contact with artists to get them out of their comfort zone. And they say that as if, the people who appreciate this stuff or pretend to appreciate it because it has some cultural value, because it has some social currency, they just take that. But question it. We wanted to get artists and chefs together to get them out of their comfort zone. Why? Why? Chuck them in Auschwitz if that's what you're worried about, with a few fucking carrots and a paintbrush.
My pieces have a vulnerable, grotesque, sort of imperfect quality to them.
Good, nice, thanks.
I like when people look at my work to have this kind of mixed reaction of not fully knowing where it stands.
Artists, endless bullshit. He wants the audience to have a mixed reaction. Who has a singular reaction to anything? How can, humans are a little bit more complicated than that. We're not binary. Oh no. Oh, I'm non-binary. But can you imagine actually receiving information and having like a singularity? I got back to binary there. Like just a one. Come on, and an artist, a classic. I'm interested in. I like the way. I don't give a fuck.
Between like art and a functional object. It's like trying to crack a code or something, like it's there and I know it's there, but I just will keep digging into it until it hits this point that's like, oh, that means something new to me.
Endless bullshit and gibber.
We always ask the artists, okay, don't play safe. Don't play by the rules. Go to the edge. Where can you make guests angry? Where do...
Look at this sociopath. First of all, let's address go to the edge. Hang on, you're making someone a dinner. It's a dinner party. Go to the edge. And then make them angry. Now, I'll tell you what this reminds me of. Long time ago, when I finished my master's degree, I was lucky enough to get a job writing a screenplay. There was a lot of money involved, a lot of potential prestige. We were going to all the nice members clubs around Soho. Oh yeah, we're writing a movie. And I thought I was made for life. I might record a story. I might tell that story one day. Fucking idiots, what happened there? But look at that. Look at that face. Make them angry. And it reminds me of the director I was working with. He was a control freak. I mean, film directors are like that anyway. They're trying to create a reality, but not just create it, not create one that is allowed to grow and be organic. one that they have got 100% control over. They tell you what it sounds like, they tell you what angle you come in, they tell you the colours, the actors, the words, everything. They make a reality, but it's one they control. And that's what this sociopath is doing with a dinner party. Make it a struggle, he said earlier. Make them angry. Yeah, that's decadence. This is a culture that is sticking its head up its arse.
Do people start screaming?
And when we turn the gas taps on, they start screaming. Ugh! Just want a fucking sandwich. Look, there's his James Bond villain cat.
My understanding is that Besser is an experimental collective who have worked with chefs and artists to create these experiential dinners that involve an artistic statement every step of the way.
An artistic statement every step of the way. The unpoetic, meaningless trite of this entire culture is just cack.
Chefs would be challenged to cook all plant-based dinner, vegan, organic, especially biodynamic Demeter ingredients.
Don't know what biodynamic is. Not vegan is. Tasteless.
And they would all have to be sourced local.
If vegan is not a restriction.
It all has to be sourced locally. I mean, that's important. You know, you've got to think about carbon footprints and that. I wonder how many Mercedes Jaguars he's got.
And certainly the locavore and the biodynamics is on top of it. So that makes it a big challenge, but also an exciting one. Martin proposed finding a couple other chefs. I've known Daniel for 25 years. Corey, I've known for a long time as well. I have tremendous respect for both of them. I couldn't think of two other chefs.
It's like the way they approach it, like they're going to put a man on Mars. I introduced some chefs. These are people I trusted. I got them together. We talked. It was hard. For fuck's sake, man. All you're trying to make people do is eat dinner and scream and struggle. It can't be that hard. Come round here.
Chefs that would respond as well to something like this. I think a lot of the plates, when we saw photographs, we kind of look at them kind of cockeyed. Once we saw them for the first time, that's when the ideas really started to flow.
It's kind of interesting for me because I obviously here I would never serve anything, but maybe that's what this.
Look how seriously they're taking this venture, which is a humiliation for humanity. Look the way he's looking at that useless plate. Good for serving insects. Each one's got its own individual little shampoo lid to die in.
This event's about, like, just trying something different.
What if you make things that smell amazing, so you really want to eat them?
Don't analyse it, mate. People have got to eat out of that.
They're stuck down at the bottom. We'll call the dish frustration.
That's what I want. A dish called frustration. Thanks a lot, mate. With a dessert of paranoia.
Dark, man. Lighten up.
I think there's going to be a big switching around.
Ridiculous.
What do you got? What are you going to trade me for it?
I feel like...
No mention of why. No mention of what's the goal? What are you achieving? What are you contributing to anything? This is a drain on history. This is a drain on culture.
We're gonna fist fight, right? And at least arm wrestle. Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I'm hoping people will really be challenged by a lot of the stuff that I made for them.
Another psychopath.
Because I want it to be this sort of unexpected experience.
Neat sulfuric acid on the spoons.
That the people have when they use these objects. Some of them will be...
And there's the spoon he's making there. The old quadra spoon.
Totally experimental process as they're picking it up, really figuring out how they're supposed to interact as a group.
Like children do when they're in the sandpit. For fuck's sake.
These are all objects that you're going to be putting in your mouth, and they kind of suggest these bodily forms, and then it becomes this unnerving experience.
Unnerving. Can I have some lemon meringue pie with my unnerving dish, please?
It's very open for the chefs to do whatever they want, so it'll be fun to see how it turns out.
Wow, look at the fucking gaff. Look at the money in the arts. Look at the money you can raise when you tell people it's important. When you sell the illusion of elitism. You know, no one understands it, but a few quid will get you a ticket that suggests you understand it. And it's not because it needs understanding. There's nothing to understand. It's the opposite of comprehension. It's void. This takes from significance. Hang on. I saw very conventional glasses there. Can you just sharpen the rims up a bit? I want to see lips falling on the fucking table. Come on.
I think the pieces from Julian, they are very challenging. They really, for me, enhance this idea of community to an extreme that we never...
He loves it. Look, he loves the control. This one. The curator. You know those old horror films, what they've called things like Party of Six or Night of the Long Shadows, things like that, where some mad old uncle who's still got an inheritance and he's going to die soon, so he invites all the family and they all get there, and there's all these sort of strange games and things, and they just sort of put up with it because they want their share of the inheritance. It's a bit like that with this, but the inheritance is the kudos of being part of the art. It's a bit like Saw as well, you know. No, you will eat from the sharp four-ended spoon. Do it, Michelle.
Never had. There was also a spoon that looked from the other side like a butt.
Wow. look how I've embarrassed my guests. You can imagine him banging his mistress going, I made them eat from spherical plates. Ha 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 ha.
I expressed reservations about the utensils. I said, I don't think there's going to be any utensils that are going to work with my dishes. And Martin's response was, this is an experimental dinner, and I'm not worried about it at all. We'll find out a way, and people will figure it out.
It's our biggest event. An event that is
a bunch of cunts.
So extraordinary and expensive. It will be very interesting. What is very important to mention is that the pieces...
Look how much this psycho loves it. He will kill. Oh, there will be blood. There will be death. I'm going to find out this fella's name. I bet he's a descendant of Caligula. This is so decadent, like I said.
Are very challenging. Give yourself to the pieces.
Someone tonight will die.
Each other. It's just really playful. It's not about etiquette tonight.
Applause. These people, man. Give the same amount of people from a working class background this amount of money. Watch the party they have. Watch the good time they have. Oh, it will be something else. Look at this lot. They're serving ball bearings up in cowpats.
What is it?
Oh my gosh. I'm strange.
I mean, have they really got so little to talk about that they need these kind of gimmicks to gel them socially? You know, I consider myself a storyteller. It's the one thing I've always wanted to be, and I got my stories from the environment I grew up in. Now, this isn't me. I think I'm a pretty good storyteller, but my comments and my history as a stand-up will show me a lot of other people do. You know, when someone in my comments says you're the funniest man in the world, now I know that's a little bit exaggerated, or they say things, I haven't laughed like that in years, or that I haven't, blah blah blah. That's nothing compared with the people I learnt this stuff off. And these weren't people who'd done this to an audience. These are people who sat in a pub and done it just on a Saturday afternoon, off the cuff, just telling you a story about how they got home yesterday, and 20 people are in tears of laughter. Look at these cunts, man. Look at the gimmick, the social gimmicks. Please give us something so we may pretend to communicate, because we lost it all. In our insane ambition to become something, we lost the ability to be anything. I mean, they're not individuals for sure, but they're certainly not part of a group. They can't do it. They've failed. They've lost the ability. And right there, that is the moment of decadence, when you lose the ability to function positively in a group.
Not only it's a collaboration between the chefs and the artists, but it's going to be a collaboration between the guests and the dinner itself. And I think if everybody...
A collaboration between the guests and the dinner. Amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Can you, what's the takeaway from this? Excuse the pun. You know, a couple of weeks later, they meet someone else over another poxy dinner party, and they'll be going, well, we went to, you know, the sociopath in the big arts house on the corner, and he made us stab ourselves with ridiculous cutlery. And the food was quite vile too. That's it. That's it. Where else can you go with that? The other person says, what, it wasn't good. And it was like, well, he said he wanted us to be screaming and angry in a struggle. Yeah, I wouldn't go again. Thanks for your contribution to culture.
He approaches with an open mind. We're all going to have a great experience.
What you're eating right now is rice.
What is this, the Autistics evening out? Unweaponized, I hasten to add.
With assorted condiments and fermented soy paste on top of a piece from...
Oh, look at him. Look at the MC. Look at the master of ceremonies with a microphone, taking them through it, interrupting at every opportunity. He will not fuck off. Oh, there will not be silence. Not with Lord Protector there. Look at him. He looks like he's wanking under that. This is his big wank anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if a psychoanalyst would be able to peel back the layers of the onion of this man's unconscious, and at the bottom it's him at home sitting round having dinner with his emotionally absent father and his covertly incestuous mother, driving him insane. And look how it came out 35 years later. Talk about sideways. This is the zigzag of an overdetermined lunatic. Fucking ridiculous. How often do you reckon they're looking at those photos they're taking? The old taking photos of food, I mean, unless you're in the industry and you're going to put them on Instagram or something, you know, that again, that is another way of just giving you something to give you the illusion of socializing. You know, the word social comes from the Latin, I fuck knows the pronunciation, soci or something, and it means allies, which would suggest assistance and help of some sort. And you know, that taking pictures of all this ridiculous, humiliating, struggling, angry, screaming cutlery. No, it's just that's taking the place of words. That's taking the place of communication. It's taking the place of conversation. The implements, the so-called cutlery, the telephones, the man talking on the microphone. It's all taking the place of socializing, of communicating. Look at this geezer here. Look at that. Wow. Oh my God, it's 4 spoons on a cross. I mean, if you're that shocked by that, go outside. Your mind will be blown.
You can share next to each other or across from each other.
No idea.
Oh, careful, watch your head.
What's your
You have a sort of bond because you went through that struggle with each other. So you got something to talk about.
Yeah, nailed it. Called it. there's some kind of bond because you went through a struggle together. So there's something to talk about. How sad is that? That's, you know, and I mean sad as in upsetting. It's like, come on, have you done anything with your lives? The money that's dripping off of you people, and you've created a farce out of eating to give you something to talk about. When me and my mates get together, it's like you can't get a word in edgeways because we've got nothing but stuff to talk about. This ridiculous gimmick-based evening, this would ruin our evening. It would get in the way of conversation.
In the end, I think food is something very much about connecting people. It's like a situation where you can exchange the love and the care that you have for each other. If the
yeah, I get that, but not the way you've removed all of that from it. You've achieved the opposite of your analysis of what eating can be, because you have got problems. And what do you do in that situation? You become decadent.
pieces have that power to bring people together, I think then that's where you should go as an artist.
Utter wankers. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Something a little bit different. Oh yeah, my channel, it's not the same, a bit of variety. Listen, ding that bell. If you want to be notified of my videos, apparently you've got to ding the bell as well as subscribe. If you haven't subscribed. A thumbs up is also helpful. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell your friends. And avoid such dinner parties. Be nice to the people around you. Friendship is the most valuable thing on the planet. Ciao.